he's famous.
That's not the case. Well, it's Mikey and Vinnie taking on the world on a wacky Wednesday.
Yeah, it is Wednesday, isn't it? Which means halfway through the week.
It confused me because we visited the grandkids and stayed overnight. So we were there like the better part of 2 days, and it just I don't know what day it is. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what's required of me.
Yeah,
but it was fun. It was exciting. It was good news, and
as long as you had fun, that's the and I see you got your mic stand back.
I got the last thing. Kailani said, "Wait, don't leave." She ran upstairs and got it. I was gonna leave it, but that's just me. I'm a softie.
Did young Kennedy Quinn just learn how to do voiceovers by? Is she going for the Sinatra voiceover? Like, hey, babe, just buy it.
More like cartoon voices, commercial tags, promos for network television, interaction and reaction to things like, oh.
Yeah.
And it was a good class. There was 5 classes. Each one was 2.5 hours long, which is a lot for a.
Oh yeah, it's for how old is she? 6?
9.
9. Well, mine's flying.
Little bolster 6.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot for a 9-year-old. But as I can tell you that because I mean I did quite a few of those in San Francisco, courtesy of I'm forgetting his name. I know it's John. John, the guy that used to do the Giants Crazy Crab commercials.
The guy who got in trouble with Ching Ching Slap Your Mammy.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of voice, and I mean, I did a considerable number, and with just me going in and voicing one scream or something, you like the way I screamed. So right. I had one commercial where I just went, oh, and another one where I went, oh. He wanted it in New York, kind of, oh.
Of course.
So, you put 10 of them together a year, and you got your college tuition.
That is the case. The VO business is funny. You just have to be versatile and.
Well, what worries me about the VO business is, I'm sure it worries people that do voiceovers, is that AI is just, I mean, you could go now and just put it into a computer and get exactly what you want.
Louder. Let's hear the female version.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable what can what this AI can do to what are they going to do with all these people whose AI replaces their jobs?
There would be no Daffy Duck if AI had happened in the 50s.
Yeah. What are we going to do with all of these people that are now going to find themselves with nothing to do during the day? Oh, I mean, because these AI jobs are going to take over a lot of the simple tasks that people do. And so
what are those? They were once thought unique to them.
Yeah. Once, what are, again, how many jobs? I mean, all these different positions that are going to be taken over by AI. Many of them are, low-paying positions. They're entry level and just above jobs. If you have AI, if you can go to McDonald's and get your hamburger by just going to a kiosk and punching it in,
then that's the way it'll be. Bill
what
Maher, this last
people
weekend,
working
I
at
don't
the
know
counter going to do.
if you saw Bill Maher shows, it gets replayed on CNN. And he had a guy on from Silicon Valley type
Yeah, I saw it.
who was there to explain everything so you wouldn't worry. And what he explained was it's out of control. There's no bounds, there's no rules, there's no one in charge, and it's going to be far worse than anyone expected. But don't worry,
Don't
because
worry.
it'll be good for the AI industry, and it'll all self-correct because people will demand certain standards. And he assured me that there's no way that we're going to be able to stop it, control it, or govern it, because there are 10,000 people just like this fellow who explain everything and think that that does it. Let me explain it to you, and then we're done.
Yeah, I was just going to say it doesn't work like that, but it does, unfortunately. It does. It will put these people out of work. And with people like Trump in charge, there's not going to be any kind of safety net. People forget that Social Security was put there as a safety net for people who were, old people who couldn't work anymore and hadn't saved enough or didn't work a job where they could save enough. And so what's the safety net going to be for young people that can't work? I mean, what are you going to do with all these people?
You have to get a job with the company that takes the money from Social Security with the government's help and uses it for something private. Get a job with them, because there's your money. Then they'll pay you with your own money, and you can put that towards your Social Security, which has already been paid for.
I guess, but I was looking at a thing the other night about truck drivers. Now they're already operating out in the desert in Southern California and in Arizona.
Drones
coming soon to Nevada when they finish that interstate that's going to run between Phoenix and Las Vegas. They're going to run AI trucks on there. They're going to run.
I'd like to see the AI trucks in Oregon where they have 3 trailers on the back of a truck.
Right. And so what are the, I don't know, let's just say it's, for the time being, just for the beginning, it's 100 truck drivers. They're not going to keep them around for the hell of it. You guys are nice guys, so we're going to keep you around.
Who owns the truck?
They'll fire them. Well, what they'll do is they'll make them independent contractors first, and then they'll fire them, so they don't have to pay their unemployment benefits. So
you never work for us anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know where it's all going to go, and I haven't heard one Democrat stand up and say, well, we're on top of this, and we're introducing legislation, and we're going to stand in the way of anything. And if this administration wants anything to get accomplished, we're going to stand in the way of it until they, guarantee people that that we're going to that you're going to have a job, or or there's something going to happen.
They'll tell you they're doing it just so China won't dominate the industry. We got to take a big piece of this right now, or China will be in charge of AI. We won't know whether we're coming or going. We won't know what we're listening to, taking directions from, or how our products are made, because it'll all be done by not Chinese people, Chinese AI industries.
Well, again, what are we going to do with the people who are put out of work by this?
Same thing we did with corporations. We wait until they become trusts, and then we bust them.
Yeah, I just don't. I worry about that. I mean, I'm not that worried about it. From the standpoint of, it's not going to affect me, but it's going to affect my kid, It's certainly going to affect your kid, your grandchildren. Anybody that's under the age of 50 in this country, it's certainly going to affect. Anybody that works for a living, it's going to affect.
And it's already poisoned the visual aspects of the internet that I see, Facebook and Instagram, and is full of AI images of scenes that never happened between people who never met in a conflict that is completely invented by somebody with a computer.
Yeah. I mean, it's already, and it's just in its infancy, and it's already out of control. It's already being used for bullshit purposes, for the purpose of creating problems.
Mostly for Prince Harry. 50% of the problems are for Harry and Marilyn Marco, or whatever her name is. It's not Mary. What's Marco's last name? First name?
Meryl Marco was. I forget now. But yeah, the
hot couple.
But how is she? What are they just doing AI stuff about her?
Oh yeah, somebody in the royal family calls and they have a fight on the phone and they have video of both sides of it, and it's all completely created.
Well, I tell people, I beg people that I know, I beg my daughter and to just not believe anything unless you can verify it, unless you can take it and go to 2 news sources and legitimate ones. Don't believe anything.
Yeah, how many trades did you see touted on the online sports?
Well, yeah, that's out of hand.
Happened.
Yeah, that's out of hand. You get this, and they make these groups up like this. This one, I don't know who's doing this. Best, only Mets fans or something like that, or and the stuff that they were putting out there was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And yet there's a line of comments after it, from soft-headed people. Maybe that's what we should do. Is there some place that we can send all the soft heads? You don't want to drop them on their heads.
Can we send them to Texas?
Yeah. Can you send the soft head people somewhere where it's just not going to affect anybody, where it's going to stay away from people? Or do we just, go in our houses, close the doors, listen to what our music is, read what we know, take the news sources from what we know, and call it a day?
What does Reuters say? Did Reuters say it happened or not? Reuters is not carrying the story, and I say it didn't happen.
Well, Reuters or CBC, BBC, and another thing I wonder about sometimes is, why doesn't Canada have this problem? Or do they, and we just don't hear about it? But it doesn't seem like the Canadians have this much of a problem with all of this.
I think they've been trained to be skeptical of anything American. It's wonderful stuff. We love the fact that we're neighbors. But as we're learning, excuse me, I don't know why I yawn on this show, but we're learning from our American friends that they can't be trusted in a squeeze. Something serious is afoot. If economic problems visit us, if world safety is in the balance of a decision to be made by somebody, you can't trust the Americans to make the right decision anymore. It's just not. It's not possible. It's just not right. They're not in the correct state of mind. They are distracted by their own world problems that they've invented. They invent tariffs and we don't know how to pay them, and we don't know what the rate is. And look what happened to India. They're being threatened now with 51% of what? On what? When? Who's going to pay it? How do they expect that to happen? You're being threatened with a tariff that cannot be enforced by anybody. And the lunacy of it, the lunacy of the whole thing.
Well, there's questions about whether they can even, enforce it. You have court cases all over the place, and I don't know. And not for nothing, but where's the money going? Where's the cash?
It goes from our pocket to the government's coffers.
Are we sure of that?
No, could be going into Don.
I mean, do we have an accounting of that?
Don Trump Jr. just has a place in Bimini where he's counting it. He has a counting house.
Yeah, I just wouldn't put it beyond the pale to find out one day that they're raking in 10% of all of these tariffs in their Tariff Clearance Corporation. But you're right. The mistrust of America is really
through the roof.
It's becoming a thing. It's not a thing anymore. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. And it's a sad thing because we were number one. I mean, we were the country that everybody wanted to be like. Now, I don't know if that's true anymore.
And who's going to listen to us? India gets the message. You can't buy your oil from Russia. We've got that on the list. We told you not to buy your oil from Russia. Buy your oil from us. We'll tell you how much it's going to cost. We'll tell you how much you're going to pay. We'll tell you what the tariff is. And India says, okay, but we're going to buy our oil from Russia. Well, we just told you can't. Well, how are you going to stop us? By a 51% tariff on everything that you buy from us and sell to us. We're not paying it, and we're going to get our oil from Russia. Well, no, I just said you can't. I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to tell Don. President Don, here's the thing with India.
Well, the interesting thing is I remember reading several places that a lot of the European countries were buying oil from Russia, just backdooring it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, they're going to have to figure something out. But I wish I was smarter to be able to figure out the solution to the problem and call them and tell them. But I don't know the solution to the problem. But it sure looks like they're going to stick it to India, stick it to a number of countries.
Another thing that the A&I people do that drives me crazy. They love to say that someone has died. They love it so much. Headlines.
Well, it gets clicks. I mean, if you put that somebody died, if you put that news on Facebook or you put that news, I mean, look at how many times you see people put up a thing about somebody that died 2 or 3 years ago, and they put it up like they died yesterday.
It's an old piece that's been circulating since then.
And yeah, so they don't look at the date, and they put it up there, and people are clicking on it, and they're, I'm so sorry for the family's loss. And the guy died 3 years ago.
I saw a piece on Facebook today, a list of actors who don't work anymore because of personal problems. One of them was Val Kilmer. I thought, his personal problem is he's been dead several months.
Yeah, being dead is a problem that and there's another thing that happens on YouTube. I mean, I've seen it a bunch on YouTube, but they have these things of this actor who's been dead for several. I think the one I saw this morning was Paul Newman names the 5 actors that he hated. Ed Asner names the 5 actors that he hated. Well, when did he name them? Did he sit down in an interview and name them? Did he call you from the grave and name them? I mean, and how come how come out of all the people he could have talked to,
he talked to you? He
chose Andy, who's making YouTube videos in his basement somewhere in Montana, to tell the 5 people that he hated. The 5
I think Andy moved to Poughkeepsie. He wanted to be closer to the action.
I don't get it. But here's some happy news for you, Michael. Do you know the name Jen Powell? Jen Powell? Pawol. You ever hear of her?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you're gonna. She is this weekend. She is going to be the first woman to be an umpire in a Major League Baseball game.
Behind the plate or somewhere in the infield?
I don't know where. But well, if she's in a 3-game series, chances are she'll get behind the plate. I mean, if she's got, and if she's going to be in a crew, you would think that at some point in the next four days, when she joins the crew, she's going to be behind the plate.
I wish her luck having a better game than the WNBA referees have been having. It's just like they can't maintain control of the games at all.
Well, you know what? I have to admit, I haven't watched enough WNBA to know if they're controlling the games or not. I'll definitely be watching this. But, well, the one thing about baseball that's been interesting is that everybody has been afraid of what's going to happen in baseball, but yet officials in other sports, female officials in other sports, have not had that many problems. I mean, I think they've had problems from respect from the players, but I don't know that it's been a major problem. I mean, in football, there has not been a major problem. They're in the NBA. I don't know if there's now the WNBA is interesting. If that's the case in the WNBA, that would be interesting. That a female official would have a problem because it's an all-female league. You would think that sisters are doing it for themselves, But if that's the case, that's kind of sad. I don't know if there's a female officials in hockey. That'd be interesting. I have to look and see. I don't think there is.
Good question.
But female, but for the most part, and I tell you, I was one of those that thought this is going to be a mess in football and in basketball.
Going to distract the players.
I don't think I didn't think it would distract them, but I think that they just would try to get away with a lot more than they would with a male official, and that there'd be a lot of abuse heaped upon them from players and from fans. Fans are not known to be welcoming to officials, whether they be men or women.
That's a fact.
But it would give them a little extra.
Even if it's Jocko Conlon.
Well, maybe there'll be a Jocketta Conlon. No, you don't like Jocketta?
I like it. Sisters doing it for them. The one I liked was sisters doing it for themselves. The call out to Aretha.
Yeah, well, it's that's kind of what you would think the situation would be. That sisters are doing it for themselves. There's a sisterhood there where they would support each other. But and again, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a WNBA game this year or last year, or although they are extremely popular in town here. The Storm are, there's people that say here, why do we need the Sonics back when we have the Storm?
Well, that question sort of answers itself.
Well, how?
You need the Sonics back because you've had the Storm, and it does not fill the gap of the NBA. The other NBA teams do not come to town to play your girls' team. And the women's league is establishing itself and growing year by year into normalcy. But right now, it's not the NBA. It's not that level of show. And the level of play that attracts a metropolitan audience is not there.
I don't know. I mean, I look at, like sometimes I'll look at the news reports when they have the Storm stuff, and I'm looking at the crowd, and it looks like any other crowd. I mean, it's men, women. Maybe there's a higher number of women in the audience, but I don't know. The thing I like about the Storm is that they didn't leave. They didn't.
They had different owners. They had the Sonics sad story was totally self-inflicted from the beginning, and they never had a benevolent owner. They never had somebody who was going to take care of that team under conditions that would allow it to grow and be competitive. Right. And draft accurately for what they needed. Never had a big man when the West was full of them. Never had a competitive team that could last more than a season. Never had the level of team unity required to go out and beat the best. There was just a lot of nevers that happened that visited that team. And look how long it took them, even when they moved to Oklahoma City, look how long it took them to win.
Well, they've won. I mean, they got to the finals, I think, once before. Kevin Durant, who was their cornerstone, was a bona fide superstar.
He still is.
I think if they had stayed here, I don't think they were that far away in that configuration that they had when the last year that they were here. I don't know that they were that far away from winning. Now, people had stopped coming. Once they announced that they were leaving, definitely people had stopped coming. But before they made the announcement, the place was pretty packed. We were doing their games the last year or 2 years, I forget, over at Cairo. Well, not Cairo, but KTTH. And I thought that they're, they made some stupid mistakes and brought in some, the Vin Baker thing was a fiasco. From the start, he played one season, 2 good seasons, and then just fell off the side. But, some of the other stars that they had, they weren't a championship caliber team, but they were in the upper percent. They were a first division team.
Well, that's one of the frustrations of being a playoff team, but only a playoff team. You get into the playoffs, you never get out.
Yeah. It's
you can have a ton of talent too. You can have a frustratingly amazing level of talent, but you've still only got a playoff team.
Well, look at how much talent they had in a serious heyday of the Sonics in the early 90s and middle 90s.
Yep.
Had a fantastic team, but for whatever reason, they just couldn't get over the top. They were bounced out in 3 and 5 games from, they were beat by, and it's always it always seemed to be one guy that beat him. It was always one guy that got into their heads.
Hakeem Olajuwon or Michael Jordan or somebody.
Yeah. Well, it was Dennis Rodman in '96. Everybody talks about Jordan in that game, but I'll still say in that series that it was Rodman to put the hex, that he out-rebounded them and just played both ends of the floor spectacularly.
Got a cat balanced on something here. It's really crazy. Get off there.
Yeah, don't wreck the cats. We don't want to wreck the cats. So
okay, he's getting.
I don't know. I'm kind of, I'm indifferent on the Sonics coming back. Because part of the problem is, Michael, that people think it's going to be like 1995 again.
I don't know how.
And it's not.
How it is going to be is what I'm trying to think of. What's it supposed to look like? Where's this team coming from? Where are the players going to be?
No.
How are they going to be selected? What sort of draft is it going to be? Is it going to be the New York Mets getting Hobie Landreth once again? I don't know.
No, I think they'll do a bit. I think they did a reasonably good job with the last expansion, if I remember right. They don't do, generally teams now don't do a thing where they put all the players they don't want on their expansion roster. They put, they're only allowed to keep a certain amount of players, and then everybody else they got to put into the mix. So they generally put, there's always a few decent players.
Does the league compensate them in any way for that?
Does the league compensate that the
well, your team puts 5 guys into the pool. I select 3 of them.
Well, they get to split the expansion fee, and what I'm hearing is it's going to be like $1 billion for an $500 million for an expansion fee.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they're getting compensated because everybody's splitting that fee, more than likely. I don't think they're just, I don't think that they're just taking, the league is taking that money. I think that goes equally out to the owners. And so they get compensated. But I just don't think from the fans' perspective that it's going to be the same. Again, the uniforms will be the same, and the some of the old players will be back. I mean, I'm sure that Sean Kemp and Gary Payton will be reveling in the glory of the glory days of the Sonics.
Detlef,
yeah, he's still around. I mean, Detlef will be in. Some of the other guys that played on this team. Steve Scheffler will probably have a revival.
What about Sickmas? He's still there.
Probably be a color commentator, but they won't have Calabro as a play-by-play voice. He's already intimated to people that he's probably not going to come back. Would not come back to a Sonics deal. Because he's getting up there. He wants to retire. He's been doing this a long time.
He's got a deal.
So you're going to have new blood, and I don't think people understand how much of a charm he was to that franchise.
Extraordinary attraction. He had great reputation, skills, humor. He was dexterity was crazy the way he could turn, and he was a fast talker. He was a great man with the basics, great man with the intros and the pregame.
Yeah,
there was no weakness to his delivery. He had great humor.
Yeah, there was nothing that was bad about him. I mean, we had the best. And, that won't be the same. maybe he'll do something around the franchise. But I mean, he's pretty locked in down in Portland,
and I think Portland and Seattle. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. As far as the arena, the Climate Pledge Arena, that place. I mean, tickets alone are going to be astronomical.
But the facility is still the wrong configuration, the wrong structure from the start.
Well, they've changed it. So I mean, it's not as obviously that they got rid of the main problem, which was it was that the stadium was built over what would have been an ice skating, a hockey rink.
Yeah.
So that is eliminated. But there's also 2 new teams in town that that soak up the sports dollar.
The Kraken and
the Kraken and the Sounders. I mean, soccer games have become huge here. So, if they come in, they'll get a great bump of publicity. But I just wonder about fan affordability. I wonder about, listen, Seattle's becoming a town where people weren't here when the Sonics were good. I mean,
and
let's face it.
What about winning?
25 years ago.
The marketing on a new team that can't win is a very difficult package to unwrap successfully. How are you going to sell a team that's not prepared to win? Not this year, maybe not next year.
Yeah, I don't know that there was I don't know that there is and I don't think there's a passion for the NBA product here. I think there's a passion for the Sonics. And everything that represents.
That's like saying there's a passion for the Beatles. Well, maybe so, but it's not something that can be accurately played in today's sports economics.
Well,
you remember them, you love them, and now what?
Well, again, I don't know. I think it'll be fascinating to see if they do come back. I got a feeling that Silver, the commissioner, is leading Seattle on. I think he's dicking them around just like Seattle dicked them around. And the NBA dicked Seattle around. I don't think
the NBA needs 2 more teams or 4 more teams. It just doesn't show me as a league that's in need of a remake.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good point. If they thought that they needed 2 more teams, or if they thought that there was the want for 2 more teams, if they thought that Seattle could support a team, they would have figured out a way to get a team up here. They would have either taken the Clippers at one point and sent them up here, or they would have taken Sacramento and sent them up here. And they didn't. So
they're both comfortably ensconced in their markets now.
Yeah,
I can't speak for the Kings, but
I think that the Kings they're better than they were. They're not 100% ensconced there, but and the Clippers, I mean, they're
got a new home.
Solid. Yeah, they're solid, man. They're not going anywhere.
Right.
Ballmer is making a ton of money. He stands there at courtside with a cash register every game, just clicking the dollars in. So they're not going anywhere. And that franchise is probably worth double now what it was when he bought it.
And he paid $2 billion.
Yeah.
People thought it was balmy. Not the case.
Now, what I wonder if down in Southern California, if they're not going to stick another franchise, San Diego isn't on their mind, as that area has grown so much since the Clippers left.
Clippers left. The Chargers left. The Padres have threatened to leave.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. Padres aren't going anywhere. Padres are solidly ensconced in San Diego.
It's not a financial success story, and they've had some ownership problems that made it worse. So San Diego is not a good bet, but there's openings, but not for anything but beyond baseball.
It's kind of strange to see them as a one-sport town.
Yeah.
It's it's always been a place that you think of. You think of the Chargers, you think of the Padres immediately, and and they were smart. They said, listen, if you want to build a stadium, that's all fine and dandy, but we'll give you the land, but you better come up with the money. And LA had a better offer.
Far better.
And they knew that if they moved up the road, which is always a problem, if you move up the road, we will still retain a large amount of our fan base. Oh, I said that last shit. We'll keep a large amount of our fans. And because it's not that far away for people to get on I-5 and drive up to, what is it? Are they in SoFi Stadium or Acrid Stadium or what?
SoFi.
It's not that far. What is it? 40 miles, 50 miles, right?
Yeah, up to 405, up to 5 in the 405. The interesting thing about that transition is ESPN play-by-play guys will still call your team San Diego at one time during the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's I think that's horrible, but and again, who knows what the economy is going to do? There's a lot of rich people with a lot of money, so you probably find somebody that will be able to come up with the money
Always
to put a team, somewhere. But I don't know. I don't know if basketball, San Diego State basketball is hugely popular. It's very, very popular in San Diego. There seems to be a lot of basketball fans down there.
And the Aztecs have been a part of the community since the 40s, 1940.
Yeah. I mean, they've been around
there forever.
Obviously, a long time. But I don't know. I don't know. I just think there's other cities that they're looking at that would be an easier time to put them there.
What does the league need with another Charlotte or another Oklahoma City, a small market team, another Jazz, another Pelicans? A team that is in the league, has traditions from being in the league a long time, hasn't made a major move on playoffs and championships, doesn't trade for better players at the deadline, doesn't make deals that improve the team, has to draft its way out of its employment doldrums. The league does not smile kindly on a small market team. Don't expect Charlotte to turn around and be something for you. They're not going to be.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know what.
2 more of those, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, suspicious of where you would put another, two more teams. I mean, Seattle, of course, jumps off the map as a place, and I just don't know that. Well, I mean, a lot of people are saying Mexico City.
Good with that, except in the Trump years, that's not going to be a safe. It's not going to be a safe haven.
Yeah. I think that's safe to say about any about any.
On the NBA plane were agents of ICE, our secret police, who stormed into Mexico City and arrested the point guard, the head coach, and the trainer. They're all been spirited to a secret site before the game. You could have waited until after the game,
No, because it doesn't make the newspapers after the game.
Right.
The Guardians are leading the Mets 3-0. Boy, have the Mets just collapsed. I'm sick. I'm sick about this team.
I know how you feel. Although we won last night with a barrage of home runs.
Yeah, my God. It's just it just looks like it's coming off the wall, off the wheels are coming off it. I mean, Soto can't seem to hit to save his life. Although his numbers aren't horrible, everybody was expecting him to step in and be the missing piece.
Numbers don't always help you, do they?
No, not if you, not if you have other problems on your team. I just was looking to see what the
coffee.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. Because I know the Giants are playing the Pirates this morning too. There seems to be a couple early. It's tied 1-1, the Giants and the Pirates.
Thank you.
San Francisco just scored in the fifth. So, and the Guardians are up 3-0 on the Mets. Mariners play tonight, I believe. Yeah, 6:40. A Wednesday night game for the White Sox.
Ball time. Almost time for a little college football. I have a hard time with this transition every year because I'm still hopeful that there's something for me in the baseball season that I'm not finished with. That there's hope for me, that there's interest for me, that my team will respond. And then gradually the Giants fall away and become irrelevant once again at the end of the season. And college ball becomes a lot more appealing.
Yeah, I've always had this kind of thing where it's hard to acknowledge that football season has started until at least the end of September. Because it's such a sign that the winter's coming.
Yep.
That it's like, no, I'm not ready to let go of summer yet. I'm not ready to let go of summer on August 6th or 7th. I'm not ready to let go of summer on Labor Day. I'm not ready to let go.
We're still in the dog days here. Let's enjoy them.
Yeah, and there is a pennant race in town this year. I mean, the Mariners are in it, and they're winning, and they're playing exciting baseball. So, I got something to watch. I got a team to cheer for. I'm still hoping the Mets can somehow pull out of their funk,
play a little October ball,
and play a little. Just play baseball. I don't know if it's October ball, but just play the way you're supposed to be playing.
Play like you mean it.
Yeah, play like you're in a pennant race. Play like it's like you're not thinking it's going to come around at some point. Because now it's not going to come around at some point.
We see the pattern, and we're not friendly with the opportunity for it to suddenly turn into something else. The team wakes up and goes on a run and finally finds itself and hits in situations. No, invariably that's not the case.
And you have the Seahawks getting ready to fire it up. I think they play the Raiders on Thursday night. Is it? I forget now. I think it's the Raiders on Thursday night. So that'll be that'll be interesting to watch. There's so many. Gino is gone, so it's it'll be left to others to crank it up,
to right the ship.
Yeah, they're gonna have to look a lot better this year, because you noticed last year that the honeymoon is over early.
Oh yeah.
People in Seattle want to win now. They don't want to win 2 years from now. That old thing of loving the team, whether we're happy we got a team, that's not Seattle anymore. When we first got here, there were people that were just happy that we got a team.
Support your boys, win or lose.
Yeah, just show up at the Kingdome and support your team and all of that pip good stuff. But unfortunately, they got some nice acquisitions in the offseason. I don't know who is going to wind up being the quarterback. I guess you could make a good case for Sam Darnold. I don't know. He certainly looked good last year with Minnesota, right?
Yep, and he looked good with San Francisco. He's a high achiever for a backup. Or an uncertain quarterback.
Well,
is this your starting quarterback?
Yeah, I think they brought him here to start. I don't think they brought him here to be a backup. I think
start him.
Tell
him he's the quarterback and start him.
Gino's now playing his trade down in Las Vegas, and
playing for.
He can throw, yeah. Which is another thing that's interesting. Pete Carroll coming back. Pete Carroll. The first team that the Seahawks see is Pete Carroll, and
is he the oldest coach in the NFL now? Is Pete the oldest coach in the NFL now?
Oh, I think by far he's the oldest coach in the NFL. So that's going to be a rocker as well. See what kind of reception he gets. I think he'll get a wonderful reception from the Seahawk crowd.
He should.
Yeah, I think there's. I think that he'll get. I think the fans will acknowledge what he did here, and it's funny because there's I think a big perception among fans that he got screwed here, that he should have been, they should have kept him as coach of the team another couple of years. I don't know. I think he might have been. Well, it'll be interesting to see what he does in Las Vegas. It'll be interesting to see what he does with that team. That team is desperate to win.
I think he'll respond to the mystique of the Raider image.
Yeah.
Which is good for selling tickets, not so good for playing football. You got to have a team.
Yeah, you got to have a team. I mean, yeah, well, I'll sell tickets. I mean, you know, the smart thing about that is they're so close to Southern California that, a ton of people come over from Southern California. And then they get the locals to go because there's nothing else to do in Vegas. It's interesting. The numbers on Vegas tourism are down considerably. And there's a lot of, there's a couple of casinos in trouble, and they say that the numbers are nowhere near the amount of tourists that they usually get in Vegas. So I don't know if that'll have any effect on the Raiders or not. I think it's a product of the economy, and I think it's a product of high prices. I mean, you're going to Vegas, you're blowing $2,000 before, for a long weekend, you're blowing $2,000 before you bet $1.
You haven't been down to the celebrity restaurant yet.
Yeah, you haven't been to. Well, the big thing down there now is these big time buffets. It's $70, $80 to go to a buffet.
The upscale buffet.
No more $1.99 ham and eggs.
Somebody's got to have the lowball buffet.
Yeah, I'll bet you if you go out on 89 out by Sam's Club or something like that, yeah, there's going to be a lowball breakfast out there.
But you don't want to get in your car and drive off the strip to get the lowball buffet.
Yeah, $19.99 prime rib is somewhere in that town.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it wouldn't be Vegas if there wasn't a $19.99 prime rib. Now, you don't want to meet. You never want to see what it came off of that prime rib.
You don't want to see the rib that it was once attached to.
Yeah, you don't want to see what it was attached to. That's for sure. That's Spolpakian quality meat.
With Spolpakian cows, bred in Spolpakia with the Spolpakian way.
The Spolpakian way, which is not to feed them grass.
They don't like it anyway.
Yeah, they feed them oats in the morning.
Friskies oats.
Friskies oats. They feed them cat food. As a matter of fact, that's the Spolpakian recycling program. Is to they just take all the garbage in Spolpaki and put it in front of the cows, and they don't know, so they eat it. And you get $19.99 prime rib.
You can fool a cow, but you can't fool a goat.
No, you can't fool a goat or a cow. All right, man. Well, what do you think?
On that note, we'll leave the Spolpakian question unanswered. Why Spolpakia? We'll address that another day, and I'll see you on Friday for a freaky Fractious Friday.
Yeah, I think Friday is a good idea. We'll get back together and hang out and do another hour of what we love, talking about crap.
Join us on Friday where Monty Rock III will not be our guest.
No, he won't be our guest. But we'll probably preview another legendary 60s and 70s talk show host. There must be more of these.
Thanks to the AI watchers at home right now working on their next feed. Val Kilmer will not join us either.
No, Val's not gonna. No, you won't see him around here anymore. You won't see Val anymore.
See you for a Fractious Friday, Vinnie.
If the Lord's willing, the creek don't rise. And Michael, as I always say, as Sammy Davis Jr. used to always say, and I always want to credit him for the line, Mr. Las Vegas. Even though Wayne Newton claims the title, I still think it was Sammy Davis Jr. Peace, love, and Manischewitz, baby.
It's a sweet wine, but you'll get used to it. Trust me. See you, man.
See you, Mikey. Take care. Thank you all for listening, too. We'll catch up with you on Friday. Bye bye now.